We have breaking news coming from the most popular dividend ETF. SCHD just announced their Q2 dividend payout, and it's coming in at 25.25 cents per share, payable on June 30th, and compared to the first 2 quarters of last year, it's seeing slight dividend growth, just 0.08%, putting their current yield around 3.32%. So in this video, we have a lot to break down. We're going to be looking at what that means for my personal portfolio, looking at SCHD's dividend growth history, how they're performing so far relative to the S&P 500 this year, and of course, we also need to look at the quarterly rebalance that just took place. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, as you probably already know, SCHD is one of the most popular dividend ETFs out there, and for very good reason. The fund has a higher than normal starting dividend yield, sitting at about 3.31%, historically has seen very nice share price appreciation, but perhaps most importantly, it has an incredible history of growing dividends at a high rate. In fact, if we look at the dividend history, one of the things you'll see is that the average yearly dividend growth since the fund's inception is above 11%. That's extremely impressive. The fund was created all the way back in 2012, and throughout all of this time period, 11% dividend growth is the average. But here's what's really interesting if we take a closer look at this quarter's dividend payout. Again, it's coming in at 25.25 cents per share. That's around a 3% decrease from Q2's 2025 dividend. Now, is this a reason to be concerned? And the obvious answer is no. In fact, seeing quarterly year-over-year dividend decreases from SCHD is not anything rare. It's happened in 3 of the last 4 years now, and despite that, every single year, the fund has continued to see dividend growth. Now, it is worth pointing out that last year's dividend growth rate was a bit slower than what we're used to, but the previous year was all the way at 12.23%. 2023, a bit slower than what we're used to, but the year before that saw dividend growth at almost 14%. The year before that, almost 11%, and the year before that, at nearly 18%. So obviously, this is how averages work. We have years where dividend growth is just exceptional, and years where dividend growth is a little bit slower. But despite the fact we saw quarterly year-over-year dividend growth in the red, down by about 3%, we can still see, if we just look at the dividend growth rates through the first 2 quarters of the year, accounting for the first 2 dividend payments of each year, SCHD is already in the green. And one of the things we'll notice is if we zoom out, that's been the case every single year for SCHD. By the time they pay out their second dividend, the fund has already paid out more in dividends than the previous year's first 2 quarters. Now, this year, they barely eked out positive dividend growth through the second quarter, so that is worth noting. Now, again, we'll talk about what this means for my portfolio here in just a moment, but we also need to talk about SCHD's performance so far year to date, because there's no doubt it's been phenomenal. And what's interesting is as we were going into 2026, investor sentiment surrounding SCHD was incredibly low. In fact, I wrote an article over on Dividendology.com titled, "Is it time to abandon SCHD in 2026?" And obviously, the short answer was, it depends on your situation, but generally speaking, no, it's not. And you're welcome to go back and read that thesis, but it's played out quite nicely. We can see so far year to date, SCHD has more than doubled the returns of the S&P 500. SCHD's total return before we're even halfway through the year is already 17.72%, while the S&P 500 has also done okay, up about 7.6%. Now, what's really interesting about this is the main complaint most people had about SCHD heading into this year was its heavy allocation to the energy sector. But ironically enough, if we look at the performance year to date by sector of the stocks in the S&P 500, we can see energy is the second best performing sector behind information technology. Energy stocks are up by nearly 21% just this year alone. So its energy allocation has been a huge winner for this ETF. In fact, energy along with AI is one of the things that's keeping the S&P 500 positive this year. I posted this on Twitter/X just the other day, and we can see without AI, without energy, the S&P 500 would actually be in the red so far in 2026. Now, that being said, it's really important we understand how SCHD selects the stocks that are in its portfolio. The fund goes through a rigorous methodology every single year, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. When you buy SCHD, you're not just buying a basket of stocks, you're actually buying a methodology, and it's a methodology that has proven to be extremely effective over the long term. It starts by selecting stocks from the Dow Jones US Broad Stock Market Index, not including REITs. Here's what's so interesting about this. Yes, SCHD has only existed since 2011, but that underlying index that it tracks, that we just pointed out, the Dow Jones US Broad Stock Market Index, has actually existed for a much longer period of time. And this is where things get interesting. If we look at returns from 1999 to 2025, the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index had around a 10.5% annualized total return. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 posted around an 8.2% annualized total return. This is information that a lot of people don't realize, but over full market cycles, what the data tells us is these stocks that pay out a dividend provide a lot of downside cushion. In fact, Hartford Funds put out a great research study on this, a study that had about 45 years of data under it, and what it found is that stocks that grow dividends over time actually outperform the market. And what they found is that stocks that grow dividends over time actually outperform the market. But take a close look at when this outperformance actually happens. We can see during bull markets, yes, dividend growth stocks still perform very well, but a lot of the times the non-dividend payers can outperform. So that means its outperformance comes during bear markets. Dividend growth stocks see much less decline during these bear markets. Meanwhile, non-dividend payers would decline by 30% or more. So with that added context, keep in mind, during this time period here from 1999 to 2025, we experienced the dot-com bubble, the global financial crisis. And this is a large reason why the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index actually provided outperformance. Now again, the reason we're pointing this out is because this is the exact index that SCHD selects its stocks from. It runs initial screens like looking for a history of dividend payments, minimum market cap, trading volume, and then it ranks the stocks by yield and only selects the top 50%. That's what helps SCHD continually have a high starting dividend yield. And ironically enough, it's what artificially boosts its dividend growth every single year. Most of its dividend growth doesn't actually come from the underlying holdings continuing to grow those dividend payments. Most of its dividend growth actually comes from the annual reconstitution. Essentially, that's when they drop stocks that have a low yield and add stocks to the fund that have a higher starting yield. They do this every single year. They then rank them by different financial metrics and add a 4% cap per stock. Now, while they only do the reconstitution one time a year, they also do a rebalancing. And my friend SCHD Stan over on X provided a great graphic breaking this down. Be sure to check him out. Before the Q2 rebalance, we can see stocks like Texas Instruments, Qualcomm, United Health Group, stocks that have had a really good 2026 were the top 3 holdings. After that, we can see UNH is now number 1, Texas Instruments is at number 2, but the weighting of these two stocks has come down quite a bit. A few other stocks have moved up significantly as well, such as Home Depot, Amgen, and a big jump from Abbott Laboratories. With that being said, the stocks that got the biggest reductions were Qualcomm, Texas Instruments, and United Health Group. And when it comes to sector allocation, once again, SCHD is reducing its tech exposure. Information technology went from about 15% of the portfolio down to around 10%, with that capital being allocated across other sectors such as healthcare, consumer staples, and once again, energy. Now, what does this recent dividend hike actually mean for my personal portfolio? I'm someone who has a fair allocation to SCHD because I'm a believer in the fund. Well, let's talk about what my dividend payment is. If we go ahead and zoom in, I currently own 3,688 shares of SCHD. So with their Q2 dividend payment, that means my payment will come in at around $931.22. A very nice dividend payment. But again, it's not about the current yield that SCHD provides that makes it so powerful. It's about the dividend snowball effect. What happens when you reinvest those dividends and the stock continues to grow their dividends? Well, look at what happens for both of these. Assuming SCHD's quarterly dividend for me is about $931 and the current share price is around $32.02, we can see that the shares bought from reinvesting those dividends will be around 29. So 29 new shares just from reinvesting the dividend. With SCHD currently paying around $1.06 in dividend income, which that will be growing shortly, we can see my added annual dividend income from reinvesting just the quarterly dividends would be around $30. And if we applied that yearly, it would come to around $123 added to my annual dividend income. Not bad, but really again, the magic is with dividend growth. Here's what my yearly SCHD dividends would look like right now if we just took the quarterly dividend payments and also accounted for what my added dividend income would look like from reinvesting dividends, and then just assumed maybe around the historic average 11% dividend growth. Strictly from SCHD's dividend growth, I would add around $430 to my annual projected dividend income. So when we talk about my total added income, you can see from dividend reinvestment as well as dividend growth, I'm adding around $553 every single year to my projected annual dividend income, which for reference is already sitting at about $8,103 every year or $675 every month. So obviously the reality is if I pursued high yield investing, I could bump that up significantly. But I love dividend growth stocks. I love stocks that continue to grow their free cash flow over time and ETFs that grow their dividends over time because over the long term, that pays out far more in dividends. And despite the fact that SCHD is already seeing total returns year to date of 17.7%, double that of the S&P 500, what's interesting is when you look at Wall Street price targets for the underlying holdings of this fund and apply it to the ETF, the average price target of those underlying holdings gives SCHD around 11.5% upside from its current prices. So according to Wall Street forecast, even the ETF is still undervalued. So yes, while dividend growth was certainly slower this quarter, SCHD is continuing to do exactly what it's always done. Churn out high levels of dividend growth, while performing very well over full market cycles. If you'd like to be able to download this SCHD spreadsheet to see what your dividend payments will look like, then you can download it for free at the link in the description. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.